Volts, I'm looking to see who takes the early punches in this series, who comes out swinging first. That was what was important in the last best of 5, and I'm looking to that to be the same case here in this second series.
I believe we are ready to get going. Teams taking the pitch. Bepic, all important best of 5.
Indeed, we are about to get this kicked underway, and here we go, Volts. Big match here, round 1 between Polaris and Team Frontline. And Polaris with some early pressure here. Team Frontline playing defense for the first little bit. Little nifty pop there by Coffee, but nothing the defense at TFL can't handle. Jelly steps up now, looks for a clear. Doesn't have a whole lot of boost in the tank, though. They'll be able to get it to that midfield line. Polaris sitting back just a little bit, but TFL will be able to clear the zone.
But it's going to be Polaris in that Polaris brand purple, TFL in this almost maroon red color here. I really like it. But we'll see, colors aside, if they can make something play. That's a big pop by almost Magic Mike, and he's got this one all the way back down. Picked up a massive demo, and he'll just tap this one in the back of the net. Excuse me, left it for Coffee, but it's all off the work of almost Magic Mike.
Beautifully done. The demo and the race to the ball won by Polaris. So look at first blood in this series. I was looking for that fast start, and it is Polaris, jumping out of the gates with a quicker pace than Team Frontline. So we'll see what kind of response TFL is cooking for us, but right now Polaris up in front.
Jelly touch off the ceiling down to nudging. He just didn't get much behind it, and Coffee will be there to make the original save. Nudging back mid one more time. It's to Jelly. This time he got enough of it, but it's too high, and the follow-up not there. Almost Magic Mike will work this one back out to mid, and well, iTrash can't quite find that touch, and Jelly now showing off the control here as he beats 2. But again, we're playing 3s.
Another pop center. Team Frontline inching closer and closer to scoring the equalizer. This is a great response, getting all the possession to their name since that first goal was scored, but can't quite crack that Polaris defense despite their best effort. So trying a pass that time around. Jelly wasn't quite ready for a pass behind their Octane. So have to recollect at that center line, and recollect they do. What a ball that is from nudging. Hard hit towards the Polaris back wall, but Trash has it covered. Magic Mike steps up and will clear the zone after an extended stay defensively for Polaris, only for a second, though.
Ooh, dangerous touch there from iTrash, bailed out by his teammates. And now it's almost Magic Mike again required to clear the zone. This one's going to make its way all the way down over the Team Frontline box, but just as quick as it came, it went, and we're all the way back to the Polaris end.
Oh, D-Side creative there, using a backflip to keep his car behind the ball, get a touch to throw off the defense. Although now it's Polaris moving the other way. Really shuts that down almost immediately. And again, Polaris playing back on that kind of play, waiting to challenge, allowing TFL to move up. They aren't quite punished as D-Sife's shot is off target, and TFL will have to move away empty-handed.
Under the halfway point, TFL's had some good looks, Bepic, and some looks they probably know they're capable of scoring. This is awkwardly put in front. Polaris still making it, playing. Oh, suspect defense at best, but it results in a clearance.
Whatever works, I guess, keeping TFL scoreless. That's the name of the game for Polaris, holding on to their 1-goal buffer, and car parts beginning to litter the field. The Champions Field janitor are going to be working overtime tonight, but doesn't really favor either team as we're still fighting for possession at the moment. Now it's a creative pass from TFL in the center third. They can only put it to that back wall of Polaris. Can't work out anything further, and Polaris so good right now about always having a car in the area just to get a little bumper on. It's not perfect clears, not immediate clears, but they're at least making Team Frontline's offensive life miserable.
Yeah, Frontline frustrated right now, unable to find any result on the scoreboard, despite spending a lot of time on this Polaris defense's back line. As Coffee picks up a big demo in advance, he'll have to leave it for nudging. Though, who's going to look to work this one right back into the corner that it came from. One more time, we're on the purple end here, but it's almost Magic Mike. Out to Coffee. Trash is going to be in a one-on-one. He takes a low 50, can't quite make it play. Follow-up shot turned aside, and 1 minute remaining flashes on your screen, and Polaris just has to hang on for under 60 seconds.
Coffee, a big clear. We'll waste some more precious seconds of this clock for Team Frontline. Jelly upfield to receive that pass, but Magic Mike had it red. Trash doesn't have this red, and it's a little sketchy now. Ball's off net, though. Crossbar, post, you name it. Team Frontline hit it on that opportunity in the offensive end, and they still have a 0 to their name. Despite all this possession, they just can't crack the back of the net.
Polaris going to be adept to kill some time in their corners here. They'd love to clear the zone and maybe even add an insurance goal, but defense is what is being called upon right now. Almost Magic Mike cost him his life, but he got it out. Jelly off the back wall, going to try to extend a nudging. This is dangerous. Nudging. Follow up. He didn't have the boost to get himself down. D-Sive shot will be in, and oh, that's a heartbreaker for Polaris. They hung on for 4 minutes and 54 seconds just to concede.
All that good defense, and it comes crumbling at the end. A tough read for iTrash, and finally, I guess Team Frontline built up enough pressure where Polaris' back line crumbled underneath it. Now a chance to take it in regulation. Jelly right there, but isn't able to put a shot on or a pass center, so well, up on triple zeros, but we will get to overtime here in game one.
This is a big win for Team Polaris here, just being in overtime with the amount of pressure they've seen. They faced 12 shots in this game, only to concede 1 goal. Which is a funny storyline, Bet, because they led for almost the entire 5 minutes, and now they find themselves happy to even be in overtime here, but they'd love to steal game 1 in this series. Nudging Big Demo, but it takes a bounce off his car all the way back out to the mid-third. Now almost Magic Mike was looking for a demo. We won't find it, and Polaris going to try to pour on the pressure.
Not so fast, though. Polaris isn't able to spend any kind of extended time in that offensive end. Team Frontline is controlling the ball so nicely. They're just sitting on that back wall, always in position, ready to find a clear or a teammate or something to throw off Polaris's advancements into the red end. That's a good demo. Jelly couldn't quite double it on target, and Polaris will use a passing play to get rid of this ball. Coffee, no second touch, though, and Nudging, again, in position there on the back wall to put a clear through Polaris's center third defense, and it's so easy for TFL to get the ball out of their own end while Polaris struggles to find these clears.
Yeah, Polaris looks a little bit awkward trying to clear the zone. It's like they're not quite sure where their teammates are going to be, while Team Frontline is just picking each other out. That was a great little 1-2, but the shot never happens, and Trash, who was a little bit awkward, gets bailed out by a big whiff. He'll continue to usher this one out of the zone, but just as it exits, it comes right back in, and yeah, Polaris now struggling for boost, struggling to find any kind of extended possession, and just hanging on here in overtime.
Oh, Jelly backflipping there. I don't think they were going to beat the defense to that ball. So Team Frontline retreats and then right back into offense. It's been the story of honestly, the last several minutes of regulation and now the first 2 of overtime. They're finding clear after clear, chance after chance. Jelly, a great 50, setting up D-Sife, but no goal there. Polaris' defense holding on for dear life. Coffee, 50 boost in the tank, but uses all of it for a weak hit towards Jelly. Dumps it off to D-Sife, and Team Frontline doesn't find an immediate clear. That's a win for Polaris. Now they just got to turn it into shots.
No shot opportunity just yet. Good little passing play, though. 1-2 action, but D-Sife pre-jumping the shot is right where he needed to be. Almost Magic Mike now just trying to buy his team some time to get back into this play. That's a big pop. It'll be a good beat from D-Sife, and we're back to that Polaris corner where we've spent so much of this game.
Magic Mike on net. Jelly and Nudging had to come from the ground there as opposed to the back wall, but they made the touch. No clear until now. Jelly versus Magic Mike. A quick pop into the corner will get Jelly 100 boost, and their car blown to smithereens. Team Frontline still trying to find their second straight, and they're trying to get more and more creative as overtime presses on. Had to play defense a while there, but they sorted it out, and now more attempts coming through the same corner. Ball popped up for Jelly, using all their boost, but Magic Mike has that touch, and nothing really doing. We're just kind of playing back and forth. Both teams winning challenges, though Polaris so awkward. Heroics from Magic Mike will bail them out, though.
Magic Mike again going to have to cut the midfield pass out, and now it's Coffee with a 1v2 opportunity. Chucked this one at backboard and got both to go. Magic Mike's up, but he can only play it down into the box with a massive bounce. We're moving east to west here for Polaris, and now we're going north-south the wrong direction. If you're here for the team in purple is D-Scythe trying to play game ender as we near the 4th minute of overtime. Bepic, and let's be honest, we're not really much closer to a winner.
No, we're not. This is just standard rotation for both teams until a mistake's made, and it was almost that mistake from Trash ending the game, but instead TFL are making the mistake. That net was open for a second. No, D-Scythe found the save and the teammate down the field. Oh, no goal, and you're right. Even though we were kind of close, we still weren't close to having a Game 1 winner. Find the back of the net. Reminder, this is just Game 1. Everyone watching that has already forgotten because we've been playing so long. Almost played 2 games. TFL almost ended it there by way of Jelly, but again, the post slammed by the offensive contender.
Coffee up from the wrong direction. 2 went. Neither found the touch, and well, now Polaris low on boost. They're stacking that net. Jelly's shot a poor one. D-Scythe just trying to keep this one in the attacking third. And finally, Coffee will relieve the pressure. He'll be called upon at mid. Nope, he'll leave it for Magic Mike. And he just handed this one away, but no good clear from Team Frontline. This one pops straight up. Jelly off the wall, and well, back to the Polaris in, nudging to play game ender. Can't find the touch. And now we're in a 3rd game of Rocket League at this point, Bepic.
Well, how about that? Starting Game 3, and it's still just Game 1. No one has found that one play that the defense can't handle. Maybe it comes here, though nudging will not be a part of it, as they are bumped clean out of that play. Polaris doing a much better job of finding one another in defense, passing it over the TFL front lines at the midfield line. Trash to the back wall, nudging in position. I'm looking for demos plays to open up lanes for both these teams, or just a mistake. Whoever has that mental lapse, that's enough for the offensive side to take this first game of the series. Either one works, but no one implementing it just yet.
Jelly back down to the box. D-Scythe can't quite get on top of it, and well, the 6th minute of overtime is continuing to tick away. Here is Magic Mike. Everyone near side for Polaris. Someone had to scramble back post. It was Coffee. Trash is awkward. That's off the crossbar, and we still don't have a game winner.
That should have been it right there. That's an inaccurate shot that might come back to haunt Team Frontline should they lose this first game. Polaris advancing forward. Magic Mike an extension on that clear. Coffee in for the shot on, nudging there for the save. Again, 2 back for TFL to make the save. Polaris Max to the play. Magic Mike pushes it into the corner, ushering it out of danger. Nudging up, shot on, saved by Coffee. Now Jelly will have some space. They will use it nicely, popping it to that back wall. Miss from Magic Mike, but no one's aggressive enough to punish a mistake like that. And now a passing play from TFL not going to work out, and we play on.
7 minutes of overtime now, and well, a couple opportunities for Team Frontline haven't quite gone. Finally, Nudging will make the most of what he's given. It's shot number 21 that ends our 7-minute and 3 seconds worth of overtime.
The space was always there, but Team Frontline didn't capitalize on it until then. They finally had someone positioned aggressively up the field in the Polaris box, and Nudging was able to slam that home. 21 shots. You're right, Volts. I cannot believe they hit 20 plus in this game, but there was 12 minutes of gameplay, so I suppose I should believe it. I can't believe Polaris actually hung on for that long with the good tries that TFL was putting on.
Yeah, Polaris to double-digit saves. They were at least putting some shots on in the counterattack as Frontline at double-digit saves as well. But, I mean, let's be honest here. Frontline, most of the pressure, I'd say 80, maybe even 85% there. Yeah. That would have been a major heartbreak to them if they had lost game 1.
Oh, definitely, especially with how many chances that they just put slightly off target, and it could have been the game winner a bit earlier on. And now, Polaris, you got to wonder if they're feeling a bit fatigued after that loss, because it's so difficult to play for 12 minutes straight only to have the L handed to you, especially when they led for the first 4 minutes and 30 seconds, it feels like. I forget when that first goal went in, but it was early on. They had that advantage. And with 6 seconds left, TFL tied us up and then forced that overtime. And now in game two, for Polaris' sake, I'm hoping they took a deep breath and found some strategy to help clear their zone more often.
We'll see. And then, of course, if you're Team Frontline, the biggest critique is you got to have better shooting. 21 shots, only 10 of them required to be saved. And,
there you go.
well, we've got 1 shot in game 2, and it's 1 for 1.
How about that for shooting accuracy? Beautiful pass by Nudging right there. I mean, Coffee and Trash both up. I don't think Trash had much in the tank to make that play happen. It was off kickoff, and TFL going to capitalize on a little bit of early pressure off of kickoff. So took them 4 minutes and 54 seconds to score in game one. It's 6 seconds into game two they score, and Polaris an immediate answer.
Yeah, 4 seconds later off of kickoff, almost Magic Mike moves his own teammate out of the way and says, let me get through here and tie this game real quick. And so, well, we're equalized again, 450. We might as well have just started at 450, Bepic.
Yeah, that would have made sense, but I guess Rocket League wants us to play the full 5 minutes regardless. And tied 1-1. The scoreboard looks much more exciting than 0-0. And this series definitely much more exciting than the one previous. I mean, that one was controlled by Audacity for the large part of that best of 5. But here it is back and forth gameplay, controlled by TFL in the second half of game 1, but controlled by Polaris there. And now it is most certainly a all knotted up game, all knotted up series, I guess technically. But Team Frontline, they do have the 1 game advantage. Minute in, we're all tied up, Volts, and I'm just waiting for someone to do something.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth here. Again, both squads are doing a decent job of directing traffic away from their net right now. They really do a good job of dumping it to the corners or picking out a teammate when they do find the touch. That's a good clearance from Jelly, but he handed it right back to Coffee and Magic Mike, who cleared the zone. And then we hand it back to Nudging, Bepic. It's a lot of back and forths that you don't want, and that's why, because Nudging will make you pay. D-Side there just to capitalize and tap this one in. Nudging would have loved the double, but he'll take the assist.
The playmaking abilities of Team Frontline in the second game, it's so much more on display than it was in game 1. In game 1, they were sitting back a whole lot and allowing Polaris to kind of get back in position when they were in difficult spots, but here they are attacking. I mean, Jelly, this air dribble to a pre-jumping Nudging could have been something spectacular, but didn't quite make contact. But that just shows you how much more confident that TFL's feeling right now with that 1 game in hand, with the overtime over and in their back pocket, and they're expounding all the pressure they started building in game 1.
Yeah, you were 2 for 21, Bepic, on goal to shot ratio.
Wow.
And then you were only 10 of 20, or I guess I should say 12 of 21 on shooting percentage that actually registered as a shot towards net. So you left a lot to be desired. 9 shots were well off the mark. In this game, you're 3 for 3, with 2 of them being in the back of the net.
That has got to feel good, although it definitely feels bad if you're Polaris. I mean, Team Frontline has stepped it up ever since they scored that first goal in game 1 with 6 seconds left on the clock to tie us up. They look like a completely different team. They were playing a lot of defense a bit earlier on in that game, and now they are controlling the pace and they are forcing egregious own goals out of Polaris. Nudging scores that one from his own half.
Yeah, it's a good drop down. Trash looked like he was going to get a piece of it. He never does. And, well, Magic Mike has to try to hit that one there because it's going in the net if he can't find a touch. And, well, it ends up going in the net either way.
All right, Team Frontline heftily in front now in game 2, and it was so close up until this point score-wise, and now Team Frontline building on the foundation they have laid. Can they add a 4th? Nudging will try here, slowing it down, playing it into the corner. Trash, try as they might, can't get it out. Magic Mike and Coffee the same. TFL just slowly moving forward, slowly pulling Polaris players out of position. That's an open net missed by Nudging, but I mean, I suppose TFL doesn't need a 4th right now.
Don't need it, but it would definitely feel a lot better than this 3-1 scoreline because, again, Polaris has had a couple really good looks at net, and just haven't really been able to get off the back foot in this game here. It looks a lot like overtime, where they kind of just get buried deep in their own end. TFL does a really good job of controlling that midfield line, and they're making some mechanical plays here, putting Polaris in some awkward spots. That's an awkward whiff, but no one there to capitalize.
Polaris needs to up their game at the moment. They are playing the same style that they were playing in overtime when they were being out-pressured and eventually out-dueled, where they kind of sit back. That was a good play right there, close to scoring, where they were throwing player after player at the ball, and it turns into a second chance opportunity that scores. So they got a bit more aggressive on that play, and it pays off.
Yeah, that's what you want. Good job by Magic Mike to get it back in the zone. Trash puts a hard shot on, and D-Cypher just can't quite get enough of it there. Needs a little bit better piece of that ball to turn it aside.
67 seconds, Polaris chance to have a go at this comeback. They got to strip control from Team Frontline. It's a pair of challenges won by Red Cars. Now nudging a chance at a free shot. Couldn't quite put it on, was pressured there. Magic Mike clears the zone, gets that midfield 100, and can maybe set his team up for some success here. Pass center, Trash wins the ball outright, nudging too slow, and we're tied up.
Oh my goodness, what a dust here from Trash.
Whew. Left Team Frontline in the dust, that's for sure. I mean, you outspeed a defense like that, and you are going to score a ball. Now, Volts, Polaris seems to have stepped it up. They look a bit more aggressive than they did previously, and now a real chance to steal game 2.
Yeah, and this is why you really, you need to take advantage of the opportunities you're given if you're Team Frontline. Open net miss, instead of it being 4-3, it's 3-3, nudging, trying to correct that score line. But again, Polaris has had their chances, and they've had decent looks, but now that they've turned up the aggression, they're finding even more looks.
Magic Mike all stuffed by Jelly right there, and now challenging Trash at V1 Octane. Not going to be able to score. Might have a game 2 overtime. We all remember the last one that happened, though. Polaris could win it in regulation here. Trash will keep it up on 0 seconds. I'm going to try to coax it to the ground. D-Cypher the same, and we do get a second straight OT. Does this one last all 7 minutes? Well, stay tuned to find out.
Big pop here from Magic Mike, but D-Cypher will get on the other end of it. Great job by him. To see that one to the side off kickoff, nudging 1v2, nudging 1v1. He just can't find the flick needed. Magic Mike there to shut it down. Coffee will dump this one to the side, and well, it started like the other overtime. A lot of Team Frontline pressure and a counterattack from Polaris that's quickly seen away.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything with that possession, and now D-Cypher will try their hand at the corner. And nothing comes of it. Polaris finding clears, already a better start to this overtime than the last one, where it felt like their clears were minutes apart in that one, and now plenty to show for their defensive performance, but no shots on just yet. Still a bout for possession in that midfield territory. Shot just short of being on target. Now a 1v1. Magic Mike can win it right here. Has the boost to do it, but can't flick it past Jelly. Trash. Shots wide. That could have won it. He didn't have a whole lot of boost in the tank, but we play on.
That could have been it, Epic. The boost funds just not where they needed to be. 10 more boost, and that's probably game. It's D-Cypher, good pressure. Trash dumps it back out right to nudging. This is a dangerous situation. Coffee can't find the bump. Nudging off the ceiling, almost put it straight in. Jelly's up, but he'll have his ball taken away by Magic Mike. D-Cypher can't snipe a corner, and Team Frontline, oh boy, the bad shooting is coming back.
They need to find their shooting boots and fast, because this is not the time to suffer in the inaccuracy bug. And Polaris could punish them for it. Trash turning, Trash passing. It's a shot from Magic Mike. Will be turned aside by nudging. So a bit scrambled at the moment. There were 3 red cars in the vicinity of the ball, but still a clear is found. Coffee needs a touch here. Stays in the center of the field, nudging a chance to win it, but again, too high on the shot. Team Frontline, fellas, just put it on net.
Yeah, that Frontline total shots starting to rack up. They're at 13 now, but They need to put these on frame, at least force the save, because Polaris has looked much more lethal in this game number 2 than they did in game 1. Jelly handed this one away. Nudging will have to play it to his own corner. Coffee's pass, good beat from Magic Mike. He does not have the follow-up on his own touch, and that will allow Nudging to work this one down into the corner. No boost, no problem. He'll take a good 50, and Jelly should be first to this.
No boost to follow, though. Just going to pressure. And a miss from Polaris invites Team Frontline into their home when TFL should be an uninvited guest on the pink side of the field. So they need to eject them from their home immediately before too much damage is done. But it's very scrambled right now. Looking like eggs in the pan at the moment, Polaris' defense, and this is not the time.
Not the time, but you can't question the results because we're still going in this overtime. We've played over 10 minutes of overtime here in this series. We're only on game number 2. We've actually played more overtime than we have regulation. That's
unbelievable. We've basically played 5 games of a best-of-5 series, and game 2 isn't even in the books yet. I can't believe that. It's so neck and neck, and Polaris, despite the neck-and-neckedness, they need to win this game, because if they lose 2 lengthy overtimes, I don't know how you set yourself up for a reverse sweep. I mean, I know my mental would be trashed at that point. These guys are competitors, a lot more so than me. But a chance to win it right there. Couldn't put it in. TFL thinking they're lucky stars.
Yeah, that was a page out of TFL's book, not being able to hit that shot, and it's really been the only look that Polaris has had in the last 2 minutes there, so that is an unfortunate break for them. Trash now trying to get back down. Coffee trying to help him, but no one able to get it past Gels. It'll be the third man, Magic Mike, to turn one on to go for Team Frontline, but it's turned aside. Now Nudging, wanting to play Game Ender. Not going to happen on Trash's watch, and oh my goodness, Pepik, we're about to enter yet another full game of overtime.
How about this series? How about that save from Magic Mike into the corner, and the rebound blocked by his teammate Trash. Now it's Nudging alone, needing to buy time for the rest of his red teammates, and he does so phenomenally. Over 2, and Coffee is just forced to slow things down at the center line before giving up possession to TFL, and the eventual no, blocked by the post. Thought that was in. Nudging almost sealed it for Team Frontline, but instead they have to reset.
Big demo by Nudging here. Jelly launched off that ball, and now Trash in a 1v1. D-Scythe up. He'll find the first touch and the flick out. It will not sneak over Coffee, but he'll use what's left in his tank to play it back towards mid. Jelly just going to clear the zone, and, well, it'll record another TFL shot, Pepik. They're at 18.
Polaris is hanging strong, if not by a thread. TFL trying to use that backboard, but always a player there. Looking for demos to open things up. There's one for Polaris. We'll see what it can turn into here. Magic Mike on net, but weak shot leads to a rebound. Coffee has that blocked by D-Scythe. Trash moving forward, putting it center for Magic Mike. We'll have that a bit high. Nudging had to sit and wait for it, but Polaris not pushed up far enough to capitalize. Coffee through D-Scythe, but not through Jelly. Doesn't have any boost, though. Teammates snagged that 100 from them. D-Scythe will use that snagged 100 boost to clear the zone and maybe find a second touch, but Trash had something to say about that. We've hit 6 minutes on the overtime clock.
Under 60 seconds before we eclipse our 7-minute overtime in game number 1, which I didn't even think was possible. Now it's Coffee trying to escape the zone. Magic Mike there to make the save. He's by himself. Ceiling shot incoming, but he'll pop that one a little bit too far away, and D-Scythe will get the first touch. Jelly clears the zone, kicks straight back out, but only Trash is there. Coffee erased. Magic Mike got that corner. He gets erased. 2 down here for Polaris, but Coffee's still able to respawn, make the save, and oh my goodness, Pepik, we're getting close to another 7-minute overtime.
I thought demos would end it, but we saw Polaris still hang on despite missing a couple of teammates there on the back line. So, Team Frontline, try as they might, can't get through that pink line. Trash, a nice block. D-Scythe, this is going to be a waterfall straight down, and that is as free as it's going to get in this OT. We don't quite hit the 7-minute mark, but we were pretty darn close. Team Frontline, though, snags it right out from underneath the Polaris noses.
And Pepik, D-Scythe had that read along with both of us there, knew that one was kicking straight down, and I'm proud of us. I mean, if we can make those reads on the pitch, maybe we'd be
I
involved
wish.
on the field in this contest. But instead, we've just gotten to watch two almost 7-minute overtimes back to back.
22. All right. In that overtime, and so it was 7 minutes, just like game one, and both teams had one extra shot. It was 21-12 in game one. That time it was 22-13, both in favor of Team Frontline. Obviously, I mean, we could all sense that they are winning the possession game in those overtimes, that Polaris's defense was the only thing keeping that extra period of Rocket League going. And, well, eventually you're going to concede when you're playing that much defense. They were finding clears occasionally, but they could not do as much damage on the offensive side of things as Team Frontline could do on theirs.
I would say Magic Mike was really the only one getting looks in that overtime. He finishes with 10 shots on his own, Bethix. So double-digit shots for him, just one goal to show for it there.
Coffee had 0 shots throughout 12 minutes of playing Rocket League. That's not good. I mean, sure, maybe someone plays the third man a bit more than their two teammates, but this is Rocket League. This is not a you sit in goal and play solely goalie. You need to be interacting in the offensive side of things as well, but Coffee was not. You ought to get at least one shot. You probably get about 3 shots if you're playing 12 minutes of Rocket League, but none for Coffee. That's something we better look at into game 2 now, because it has to be a full team effort, apparently, to beat Team Frontline, because they're passing, they're shooting, and they're scoring.
Fantastic shot here from Nudging. This is much more what we want to see out of him. Jelly drops it down, Nudging with the beat and the top corner slot, and it's an early lead for TFL here, and they're looking to send Polaris home quickly.
1-0 Team Frontline. We saw a 2-goal comeback from Polaris in game 2. I don't like that from Trash, but they seem to know what they were doing, taking it across their box, and keeping it out of TFL hands for the time being. Good save there by Coffee. And on 0 boost, they try their hand at getting through Nudging. No can do, and the same can be said for their teammate as well. Nudging to Jelly, but back wall covered up for Polaris, but it's TFL. More time spent behind that ball, and that is not a good sign for Polaris.
Not at all here, especially since you're trailing. Most of the time, they've seen this amount of pressure where it's either tied or Polaris has the lead, but not in this case. They need to get down to that offensive end before this pressure amounts to a second goal. D-Scythe trying to make it all come to a head right now. Nudging can't quite find the back of the net, and well, Jelly will at least stall the clearance for now, but it was definitely coming, and it's Trash to launch it out of the zone. D-Scythe, though, was bought enough time to get back and put this one back over the box. No one went up for it, and Trash on 0 boost will be able to play it to the side.
Who needs to shoot accurately when you have as much possession as Team Frontline does? Their skills of reading where the Polaris defense is trying to go with the ball are immaculate, and it is keeping them well ahead in this game in terms of time of possession. They're only up 1. I mean, the back line defense of Polaris is almost as good as the offense in the center third for Team Frontline, but eventually you're going to crack, you're going to crumble, and Nudging makes it 2.
This is some fantastic placement here from Nudging. He's able to really get around this one and puts it bottom right, just out of the reach of Coffee. And again, that is what you need to do. You need to be placing these shots well and taking advantage of the opportunities that are given. I'm not saying they're easy, but they're ones you could definitely score, and Nudging proves it there.
Ooh, Coffee actually out-dueled Jelly there in the midfield, past center, and that is a beautiful, quick goal from Polaris. If they are going to sit back and play tons of defense, Volts, those are the kinds of goals they're going to need.
Yeah, it's fantastic there, and it's all Coffee. Beats all 3 there. 50's the first, beats the second, beats the third, and Magic Mike just has to tap that one into the back of the net, and it's a great response from Polaris. Plenty of time to find a set one. Just, again, we have to avoid being pinned back on defense if you're a fan of the team in pink.
1 shot, 1 goal, whereas Team Frontline sitting at 5 shots and 2 goals. Still in the lead. They might make it 2. They will. Nice shot from Jelly there. Hard, accurate, and the Polaris defense was just simply not set.
Yeah, D-Scythe, big pop off the backboard, and you said it perfectly. No one set on Polaris, no one able to challenge that shot, and Jelly's not going to miss that one.
No, they are not. So, the 2-goal lead has been reinstated for Team Frontline. Polaris is going to need more than just the one shot they currently have. Maybe a second or a third. Shoot 100%. That'll make it easy for you, but that'll still only get them to a tie ball game. When Team Frontline has looked as deadly as they have, a tie ball game is not enough to down them, as we've seen in the first two games. Nudging wanted to pass center, couldn't find it. Polaris, though, still struggling to find a clear.
Nudging put this one back in the box, and don't came through, but did not quite yield the results Team Frontline were looking for. Trash, good beat on the third man, but his teammates not quite able to get there. Magic Mike will pick up a demo. D-Scythe popped this one back out to no one, but he will be able to challenge the original shot. Nudging got faked, but Jelly will have his back, and now it's Polaris with a little bit of pressure.
Oof, the fake from Magic Mike, the pass center. Coffee slows it down, but D-Scythe doesn't bite on any kind of pace change and feeds it out to Jelly for the fourth. Team Frontline, some great, I'll call it panic defense, turns into a fourth goal.
Yeah, D-Scythe there makes the save, and it turns into an inadvertent pass as it lands right in front of Jelly, who just has to speed flip and knock that one into the back of the net. 1:42 remaining, Bepic, and yeah, with this save, it's not looking too great for our chances at a 3-for-3 overtime.
Polaris made a 2-goal comeback in the last game. 3-goal comeback, maybe not out of the realm of possibility, but as has been the theme throughout this entire series, they need more offense.
Coffee, big pop, trying to be that offense and get involved. Magic Mike now, big pop, almost Magic Mike, good cancel. Flip reset, pass, that's a beauty. And Trash will put it away, 1:12 left. Yeah, definitely possible, but again, a lot more work, and you're gonna need a lot more brilliance like that if it's gonna happen.
Those extra unexpected touches are getting Team Frontline out of position to double commit and leave their net exposed. So if the mechanical ability is there for Polaris' team, then perhaps we see them score 2 goals. That was a close one, but D-Scythe near post covered, and they'll have to reset from their back line as Polaris squad.
Coffee trying to clear the zone, and just like that. Set back out to Magic Mike, who's trying to get on the end of that one. Couple bumps going on that back wall, and that will allow Team Frontline to clear the zone. D-Scythe up, Nudging up as well. Nudging gonna make the save there on D-Scythe's shot, and maybe that's an opportunity afforded to Polaris. Magic Mike wins a good 50. Almost Magic Mike trying to work it in front, but two Team Frontline defenders there. With 30 seconds left, Bepic, it's looking like it's all but over.
Well, Jelly's actually caught out here. D-Scythe will get back and make this read, but there are still openings. They're getting smaller and smaller, but Team Frontline's defense is not perfect at the moment. Have to score on this try. Magic Mike has to clear their defensive end and not give away possession like that. Team Frontline going to survive a very lengthy sweep. I don't know how they won. Actually, Volts, I don't know. They haven't won just yet. Let's keep our assumptions to a minimum.
Oh, we will see here now. This becomes interesting here. You'd have to think this is a delayed kickoff from Team Frontline here, and just trying to pop this one straight down. Here we go. Oh no, it pops straight up. Nudging does have the read, and Nudging will try to drop it. Coffee, 0 boost. That's a good pop on 0. D-Scythe gonna drop it down, and there we go. It took a little bit of extra time there, but it does drop on 0 seconds. Team Frontline pick up the sweep.
Wow, that was quite the series. I don't think it deserved to end in a TFL 3-0, but that's the result we got. They did out-pressure Polaris 100%, but Polaris' defense kept them in that series from start to finish. I'm impressed, but we do have to wave goodbye to them. We won't get to see them any longer in this RLSC tournament, and Team Frontline moves on to play Audacity.